Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from Arma Hobby. So it's an aircraft kit in 1/72 scale, and it might be familiar to some of you because we reviewed the previous edition. So it's a Ki-84 Hayate, a Japanese fighter aircraft, and in small scale it should be quite an interesting build. Moreover, this is a completely new plastic, so it was released this year, and here we have yet another version, or let's say a package of this kit. And of course it's a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review, and we are going to open it together in this video. So first of all, I have to note the box art. It is still as good as the previous release, and these pictures really deserve to be printed as posters, and I still wonder if Arma Hobby will actually release them as posters. By the way, kit number is 70052, and we have 1 star. I guess it means the complexity of the kit. Here we also have a short note of the contents, so you can note that there are few writings or few, let's say, lines in comparison with the first release. So we have only plastic and decals, there are no P parts, no masks, so you have to get all this stuff by yourself. And on the opposite side you will find safety advices, address of the manufacturer, and of course some assembly advices, so you need glue and paints obviously. And here on the rear side you can see 2 marking options which are included into this kit. Again, I hope that there will be more in this kit, but we will see. Maybe there are only 2. So it's a side opening box, and if I take out all the contents, as you can see, everything comes in 1 plastic bag, and we have assembly manual even here. So I will have to open it right now and we will check everything together. This is a resealable plastic bag, so it should be rather quick to open. And again, all the parts, well, almost all the parts, they fit on 1 sprue, so they should be completely alright. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I suggest we start with a clear sprue which was on the top. It is packed into a Ziploc bag so that it won't be scratched. And here we have really nice clear parts. So these are obviously Canopy parts, and if I zoom in and maybe open the lenses, you can see what I'm talking about. So overall, all these parts, they look really good. As I said, this kit does not feature any mask sets or maybe templates, so you have to cut them by your own hands and tools. But again, these parts will allow you to open the cockpit on your model, and in 1/72 scale this is a really good feature because it might be handy to expose what is hidden inside. And even standard plastic should provide you with a nice cockpit, so that's why it's worth thinking how to open the cockpit on your model. Maybe you'll do some scratch building in the pilot workspace, so it will be also worth showing on the model. Next we continue with a narrow gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to external elements such as fuel tanks, or actually bombs, and tail wings. And here you can also see that the tail wings, they have the elevators pre-molded, so you won't be able to install them in a different position, or you will have to modify them. And if I bring them closer, here you can check the external features, which look rather nice. So it's just a matter of let's say painting them carefully and maybe using some pre-shading or weathering in order to emphasize all these features on your model. But other than that, it looks really great, and we have all the necessary installing points, so it should be easy to get it into the right spot. And then all other parts, they come on 1, let's say, second gray plastic sprue, which is also the biggest. So I would first zoom out so that you can see the whole frame. So here you can notice that overall design is rather typical for an aircraft in 1/72 scale. Note that we have fuselage halves molded together not only with the tail fin but also with the rudder. And I would say I would rather prefer to have the separate rudder, but we have what we have here. And if I zoom in, here you can take a closer look at the parts in the top left corner. So first of all, we have landing gear legs, which look rather nice. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip, they're really small, so it's something to remember, let's say. In a 1/72 scale aircraft kit, we get all wing mechanization pre-molded, and some modders will be not that happy to see such feature, but it's something what you cannot avoid, and I would rather prefer to have at least ailerons separately, and here they are still pre-molded. Next we continue with two versions of the top panel for the fuselage. I guess it will depend on the aircraft version you will be copying, and you have to follow the assembly manual, which we'll be checking a bit later. Here we see the fuselage halves. So again, recessed panel lines and rivets, they look really good here, and these parts actually show what can be achieved with the modern molding technologies. So again, it's just a matter of careful painting and you have all these features on your model. And again, I would say that it would be really cool to have rather separate, not pre-molded. And I hope some of you will agree on this, but it's a matter of personal taste as well, I would say. Here we continue with the propeller. So note that attachment points are right on the blades, so you have to be careful while separating it. And also we have some thin parts for the engine, so be careful with them, try not to break anything on this. And next we continue with the lower wing section. So this one also features recessed panel lines, and they look really good in my opinion. Here we continue with some cockpit parts. So as I was saying before, cockpit out of the box, it should look really good. So it's just a matter of careful painting and you'll be able to get a nice pilot workspace without investing into PE parts. But of course, PE parts will help you to replicate more stuff, so it's up to you whether you would like to invest in your model. Note that here inside fuselage halves we have the cockpit features pre-molded, so it's also a nice addition. And the same can be said about these wheel wells. Know that they are coming, they are actually connecting the top halves, and they are also featuring all the necessary things out of the box, so you don't have to install it one by one. So it's also quite impressive to see it in this size. And here you can see another wing half from inside. So of course we have all the guiding elements which will help you with alignment, and this is really handy because these parts are, I would say, not small, so it's always useful to have something what will help you with overall alignment of these parts. Next we continue with decals. So decals are printed in tech mode and printing quality looks really good. So I will place it here. Let's close the lenses a bit and zoom in. So here you can take a closer look. And as you can see, we have not only decals for the external features, we also have the instrument panel decals, seat belts, and this might be enough for some modders who are not that demanding in the features in the cockpit. And again, if you plan to build the aircraft with a closed canopy, then it should be more than enough because it will be visible through the canopy and it should look convincing in my opinion. Next we continue with the assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of small cover printed brochure. We have short history note, parts map and colors chart on the first page. Next we continue with the assembly process. So everything starts with the cockpit obviously. So as you can see here, you have to install various control elements. You also have to combine the pilot seat and rear bulkhead, and then you get all this stuff into the fuselage. Engine surprisingly detailed out of the box, so that's also where you would be good to invest some time into painting and weathering and maybe exposing it somehow on the finished model, because it would be a shame to hide it inside. Next we also continue with the tail landing gear, which is molded together with the wheel, and also note that you have to drill some holes in case you would like to get the underwing fuel tanks. Next, here with the blue arrows, you can see the panels and wing installation, so it should be rather easy. Also, the air intake is assembled out of two parts, but the overall design is done in such way so that you won't have any seams and gaps in this area. And next, we continue by choosing the open or closed canopy. Here we continue with the same choice, and also main landing gear together with wheels, various actuators, antennas, and some cooling parts. So actually cooling flaps, they can be chosen between two versions. You have either open cooling flaps or closed. And next we also have the bombs, which will be installed under wing. Here we have first marking option. This one is from 1945. And here is another one, it's also from 1945, early 1945, so there are 2 marking options in total and no other bonuses or anything else. But obviously nobody stops you from finding some aftermarket release or maybe some references for a different marking. As for this kit, it should be already available and you can get it even on official Arma Hobby website. I would be happy to hear your opinion about such a list. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.